Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be doing another squad builder for team of the season players for those that are decent, good, great, whatever it is that you consider them to be. So people seem to really like the last video that I did, so I'm going to go ahead and make another very similar type video but with different types of players so that you guys can have some sort of a meta in your team. So we're going to go ahead and go on Footbin here. Now, hopefully this screen turns right away. It does. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of the team of the season players. So a couple of players that people wanted me to put into squads were players like, it was Fabinho, Gomez, Rabiot, Malcolm, Callahan, so on and so forth. So those are a couple dudes that people wanted me to put into squads. To see if I can get some sort of a meta with it. The reason why I tried Boateng the last time was because Boateng was a kind of hard one to put into a squad. So he was an interesting one because he's very oriented, or the team that you have to make around him is very based off of a Bundesliga squad. So it's good that I could change all of those things. So we're going to go ahead and start off with putting players like Fabinho, Gomez, maybe Giovinco, Lemar, because I think in the MLS they actually have a few MLS players that are actually decent. So we're going to take a look at that right now. So we're going to go ahead and change back to the face cam here. Going to go ahead and open up another web browser here so that I can get the pack builder open. So that way I can have this on the second screen, or the group of players on the right side, and then I can have the video to be this screen for you guys. So some players that we're going to try to fit into the squad are going to be players like Fabinho, right? So Fabinho, there's a nice thing with Fabinho's card, right? Because Fabinho is from the League One and he's also Brazilian, right? Right off the bat, you have an incredible CDM to work with. If we look at his info, acceleration 78, 81 sprint speed, 83, not those ones, sorry. 80 agility with 78 bounce is very, very nice to have for someone who's going to be playing as a CDM for you, with incredible physical capabilities, incredible defensive capabilities, dribbling, passing, and shooting. It's always nice to have a player in each position that can actually take a good shot for you. So right off the bat, the best way to start off your team just to get chemistry with the club is to go 4-3-2-1, right? So if you want to start off like this, it's actually quite simple to get some good players in there. So if we wanted to start off like this, you can go right ahead and put someone like, who was the right wing that we were going to put? We were going to put Malcolm, right? So Malcolm, right off the top, gets full chemistry links with Fabinho, right? So with Fabinho, you can honestly just do this, right? You can get Neymar in your club, right? You get the Neymar in your club. You now got a green link there, a green link there. Fabinho no longer needs a green link. So you can put whatever striker you want up there. So right now in the League One, if you really and truly want to, you could just put Lemar here, right? Because if you put Lemar here, you'll have a either fun cam or striker to use. Because if we look at Lemar's card, right, we're going to see that he has very good finishing stats in general. Good finishing, good shot power, long shots, and his composure is 83. So very, very usable as a striker, right? Lemar would also be a very good cam or left striker, considering that he is left-footed to have on the left side. So that's nice. So this is if you're starting off with a 4-1-2-2 right off the bat, right? So with the chemistry links already as is, by the way, Lemar would get 7 chemistry as a left forward in the striker position. I don't know if I can actually change this. I can. Beautiful. That's it. Boom. So we'll just give everybody the things, and then with the manager, he would also get the full chemistry too. So I can just put in. We could put in. I don't know if Emery is a manager. Emery is not a manager. We could just put in Arsene Wenger, right? You didn't choose a league. Are you sure you want to? Okay, so Arsene Wenger. I don't know how to choose a league. Okay, there you go. So it doesn't really matter. You know, you can go French dude. From the EPL, right? So if we went to, I think it's just called the Premier League on the squad builder website. So Premier League, right? So we'll just put that, boom. Contracts will give them 7, 10 on each of these guys. So you no longer have to worry about this side, this side, this side, this side. So now you have an option to do whatever it is that you wish to do, right? So if you want to have some fun on the right side, or you want to use a typical meta, the typical meta would probably be to get someone like Paul Pogba, another player like Valencia, right? And then the other player would be Eric Bailly, right? The good thing about doing this is that you would also have one of the best goalkeepers in the, or sorry, not one of the best. What am I saying? The best goalkeeper in the game, right? So right here you would have a balance of a 4-1-2-2 where Pogba would play as your right center mid, and then you have a good fullback, a good center back, and a good goalkeeper, right? If you didn't want to go with that, there's a lot of different options you can go with nowadays because there's so many different special versions of cards. If you wanted another center mid, that would be good to have in that general area. You can get someone like Raja Nangolan, Manolas, and then you can get someone like Florenzi's regular card, right? Yeah, so you get Florenzi's regular card, put him as a right back, boom. Now you have another triple link here. So right now your team's at 100 chemistry, right? And there's not really a crazy amount of things you need to do with it, right? Because now on the left side, if you truly wanted to, you can now go with Vidal, right? Boateng, and Alaba. So this would be like a typical team that you can start off with. The good thing about this is now you can put Farman in net, and Farman also does have the leg save trait. So that's a different type of team that you could make to have fun with, right? If you don't want to go with the generic, there's a lot of other players you can use, right? So we're going to remove some of these guys, and we're going to look at some other selections you have, right? So we're going to go ahead and search through some of the players here. There's so many different ones that you can do. Like, you can honestly do, let's just say, like, Asamoah, if you want to have fun, right? Because Asamoah has a foot birthday card. Then you can do Alexandro. And just to have good work rates in that general position, you can go with Mehdi Benatia, right? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Mehdi Benatia? Benatia. I wonder if it's Mehdi Benatia. I can't remember his full name, to be honest. But yeah, so you got another triple link here. You got someone who's good at attacking and defending, right? Solid fullback, solid center back. Boom. You no longer have to worry about chemistry. The thing about this formation is that it gives you so many different options to have fun with, right? You can, once you set up like a Fabinho, Malcolm, Lemar, and you have that League One starting lineup up top, right? Where you could just have fun with it. By the way, if you don't want Lemar, you can just put like Mbappe there, and that would be a very simple solution too, right? That's another left-sided thing that you can do there. I also think that Asamoah may be left-footed. I'm going to go ahead and check that just to make sure that he actually is left-footed. Asamoah, because it's always nice to have a left-footed player in the left center mid role, and he does actually have his strong foot is actually left foot, so he would be an interesting one to try out on that side as well. I'm trying to think of some other players that are like pretty generic attacking and defending players to have in the midfield. I can't think of some at the top of my head, but when I see the list of FIFA players in general, there's so much to go by. So that's in regards to if you want to use a 4-1-2-1-2, right? So you can have a center mid that's playing as a CDM that's good at defending. He has good defensive stats, good attacking stats, and then same thing with Asamoah, good attacking and defending stats. Same thing on the right side, attacking, defensive side. But what you can actually do is now you can kind of orient your team around a squad that will basically be more attacking oriented, right? So let's just say, for instance, you want to use, let's just look at some examples here. So you have someone, I'm looking at some players through these squads right here, because this, you can use it, this is really good already for a 4-2-3-1, but if you want to have another attacker up there, you can definitely do that. If you want to put like different center backs in those areas, right? Because the general thing that you can do is, you can get someone like Gomez, but then Gomez would only get one link with Zanetti. Because I'm not sure if Atalanta actually has any more players that are actually really good. I know that Gomez is usually one of the best ones in general, so it's very hard to come by with his card. But a lot of the goalies that you can get, you can even kind of start off with probably a Barcelona lineup too, because if you actually check this out, you can go ahead and put Paulinho in the team, right? And Paulinho actually has a pretty decent inform to have fun with, where he has, again, attacking and defensive presence, right? And he gets the Brazilian links as well. So all you truly need for him to do is to get those double links there. And then if you really wanted to, you can just put like Semedo as your right back, right? Semedo is Portuguese, so if you want to rock with a Portuguese, goal, or you can get a goalie and a center back that I think if you get full links might not give them full chemistry. One needs to be Brazilian or Portuguese with the full chemistry. So from this point, you can probably go with maybe, I would say maybe Chiellini. But Chiellini would be a generic one because low high with medium high. You could probably go with Umtiti, who I don't think Umtiti has an inform version of the card, which kind of sucks because if this guy got an inform, his card would be absolutely amazing because they would upgrade his pace, defending, and physical significantly considering it's kind of low right now at this stage of FIFA. They would have upgraded it by a lot at this point, right? Again, from this situation, you can put whatever goalkeeper you want. What I would say is to put Ter Stegen as your goalkeeper because Ter Stegen actually has the leg save trait as well, and he's also a very, very good goalkeeper. If you look at the price of this team, it's nice. 1.7 mil for this squad is not bad at all. If you really wanted to, because with 1.7 mil, it's not necessarily too hard to come by nowadays, right? Like nowadays, there's just so many coins just everywhere. Like, dude, I've seen some people's coins, they're prepared for the World Cup mode like crazy. They've just got money rolling in on their accounts. Like, I've seen some accounts that have like 30 mil, 40 mil just sitting there waiting for that World Cup mode to come out. So this is a good balance, right? Because with this team, you can switch to a 4-1-2-2, right? And right off the bat, I think it actually switches to most of the players. So you can decide whether or not you want to use Lemar as a cam or a striker. I'd probably use him as a cam considering that he is short and his passing is actually quite nice. If we look at his passing stats in general, he does have 94 short passing with 81 long passing. And 94 short passing considering that he is going to be playing as your cam in a narrow formation is actually quite nice, right? So Malcolm could be on the right side, Neymar on the left because Neymar does have that 5-star weak foot. And you could just have a ton of fun with this team that has a very, very good balance, that has unique players in every position, but are still somewhat meta. So that's an interesting squad that you can definitely look into making. That looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and make another team where we got, I would say, let's see. So we got players like Callahan, Giovinco. Giovinco, the problem with Giovinco is that if you put Giovinco in a team, you have to link him with icons or Italian players, or maybe a few MLS players here and there. It really depends, right? If you can get those links in. But the cool thing is that I think if I actually search through the MLS players in general, there should be a few players. I think Martins actually has, I think his name was Martins. I think I forget what the actual name was called. I'm searching through the leagues right now for the MLS. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, Is it called the MLS? I think it's called the MLS, right? Or Major League Soccer. It is Major League Soccer. So if I look through the Major League Soccer players, there's players like Kaká, Pirlo. Pirlo's just stamina is way too low. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Bastian Schweinsteiger. Those cards didn't get upgraded that much, so I wouldn't look into those that much. But the other cards we got here are actually interesting because in a 4-1-2-2, that might actually not work because of the chemistry links. But let's see what we can do here. So if we put like Giovinco in the team, right? That's his team of the season card. And then we put Martins off to the side. Because if we actually look at, is it Martins or is it Martinez? Martinez. This is the guy that plays for Atlanta. So with Martinez, let's see if his actual card stats. So his finishing and shot power is good, but he doesn't have long shots, so very linear in play. And he also has 78 composure. So 78 composure isn't ideal. But just to make a team around him to have fun with, right? The next player you can get is probably like Kaká. Kaká is Brazilian. So the good thing about the Brazilian link is that you can go with whatever you want in that situation now. So come to think of it, at the top of my head, okay, so Diego Valeri, Jose Altidore, Carlos Vela. Okay, so the MLS doesn't have that many good players in general. So this is actually a tough one because with this, it's tough to get the links in the team for sure. 4-1-2-2, 4-1-2-2 with a wide. The wide doesn't really help that much. 4-2-2. 4-2-2 would only require one link. So with someone like Martinez, you could put him here, put Kaká here, and then you can get a cam that's that can link up with Giovinco, but then you would also need a CDM. So, let's look at some Italian players here, because obviously this would have to be MLS. So maybe of Bastian Schweinsteiger. Bastian Schweinsteiger has a decent card. 65 pace is quite low, but he has an okay card. But the pace is will definitely be noticeable. But just for the fun concept, right? With this, you can now go with a German player as a right back, but then Kaká would also be a problem too. So looking at it now with the MLS, it's a little bit more difficult to fit Giovinco in the squad. If you guys have any suggestions, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, because right now it's kind of tough to figure out a system to put him in. I'm looking at some other players here that are from the team of the season. This one's an interesting one. Van Ginkel's card actually looks somewhat usable. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to search for the Dutch players in general, because if I search through Dutch players, I think they're called Netherlands, or let me see. I don't see them here. So they're, yeah, Netherlands. It didn't even show up in the end part, so that's a little bit weird. Dutch players, there's well, obviously there's the prime icons. There's like Arjen Robben, but Arjen Robben is not that great. Quincy Promes is a good one. So with Quincy Promes, he's also, so we'll start off with the 4-3-2-1 again. He is also from PSV as well. So with Van Ginkel's card, we'll put him in the team. We'll put in Promes' card, right? And Promes is a left mid. Oh, he's not in PSV. I thought he was in PSV. Oh, he's no longer in PSV. But hey, man, you could definitely make a cool Dutch team, though. Let's check out what you could do here. So he's from, that team is it's not Dynamo Moscow. It's is it Dynamo or is it Spartak? I can't remember exactly. I'm actually gonna check this right now, just to make sure. I can't remember the team exactly. I'm not sure if that team actually has any good players, so this could present to be a problem maybe. So that's Spartak Moscow. So Spartak Moscow is from the Russian league. So Russian league from that it's Dutch would be nice, but I highly doubt that that's going to be a good thing, to be honest. I'm going to check out the Dutch players in general right now and see if I have anything to work with there. So the popular ones, we're going to go with the Dutch over here. Obviously the icons, but you know, we're not going to look into the icons right now. This is actually a very good one. So Delete, no idea. He actually sells for a pretty good amount. So you already got the full chemistry link there with Van Ginkel. And then you have, you just need basically a Dutch left back or someone from PSV as well. And to be fair, PSV actually might have some good players. I'm going to search up positions. I'm going to search up defenders. So defending, they have Frank Rijkaard, Van Dijk. So that's an interesting one. You can actually put Van Dijk in the squad. Because a good thing about Van Dijk, right, is that now you wouldn't necessarily have to use this Promise card. You can use the right mid card. Put him here, put Van Ginkel over here, Van Dijk to the left side, right? And now we got a good thing going for us here, right? So now we can actually switch to Robertson, who recently got team of the season in that position. And then we can also put James Milner as a card. So James Milner got a recent card right here. So I would probably use that for fun. I wouldn't look into it too much, to be honest. This Van Dijk card is not an okay card to use because he is not from the same team. Well, it might be an okay card. We're going to see how the team kind of rolls out, right? So Liverpool, Delete, we're going to look at some other players here. Nathan Ake is actually a card as well. So Nathan Ake has a pretty decent inform with good physical, good defending, and 81 pace. So 81 pace actually helps out quite a bit, right? We might not have to use Milner in the team now. We could probably use somebody else. But for the sake of everything, we're going to just keep it going and see what happens. The cool thing about being able to put Ake in the team is now you can have another goalkeeper who is a cheap option that does have the leg save trait, because all you need now is a Dutch right back. So if I search up right backs that are Dutch, they don't have any that are actually good. So now we're going to go ahead and check the Dutch league in general, because the Dutch league, I just need someone to link up with Van Ginkel and Delete that's actually good. We don't want to put any bad players in there. You don't want to compensate, right? So we're going to go search up, I think it's the Eredivisie league. So Eredivisie, there we go. And the right back, they actually have a guy called Santiago Arias, or Arias. So Arias, Arias actually has a decent card. If we look at his card, and he's also from PSV, and that helps a lot. 88 pace, 83 defending, 80 physical, 84 dribbling with 74 passing. Very, very nice card. You got some solid links in your team already. You may not have to do the whole Robertson-Milner situation, so we'll look into that as well. Van Ginkel gets full chemistry with Promise. Promise needs a card to give him that full chemistry. What you can do to have a solid CDM in the middle is you can go with Frank Rijkaard, and then you'll get that full chemistry link with Promise. And then on the left side, you can do whatever you want, right? So with the left side, you can have fun with it if you really want to, right? You can have fun and try putting players like a Team of the Year Harry Kane, and then someone like Heung-min Son, for instance, right? Because if you put Son in the team in the left mid position and he switches to left forward, he also gets full chemistry too. So this is an interesting squad because right now you can use Promise and Kane as your strikers with Son as your cam, or Son as your striker because he moves a little bit slower than Promise and Kane, or even Kane in general. But yeah, this is another interesting squad that you can make just for the fun concept. It makes... You want to have players, because there's a lot of things that are missing, right? So with Milner, the pace is far too low, right? Stuff like that. Van Ginkel actually has a decent card. Rijkaard, decent card, but he has a few things here and there that aren't that great. Kane on the ball moves a little bit slow, misses the 4-star skill moves and stuff. But if you want to have fun with a team that is somewhat meta and you want to have fun with, this is another very good example because, again, just to show you guys what the team would look like in-game, you can switch to the 4-1-2-1-2. Promise would be your cam, or Heung-min Son, really depends on you and how you're feeling. Put Kane off to the left side, because I think Kane also has... He might also have the finesse shot trait. I'm not entirely too sure, so I'm going to go ahead and check his card just to confirm that, to make sure. He might actually not have it, but he did a lot of good finesse shots in real life, so it would be surprising if he didn't. So he does have long shot taker, but unfortunately he doesn't have the finesse shot. But a 4-star weak foot with insane finishing capabilities is nice. Promise with high work rate, high-low work rates is very nice as well, pushing up and pushing back. Good balance on your midfield in general, and then a good balance on your back four, just to have fun with. These are players that are usable, right? These are players that are different, that you may not use from time to time, but it's just interesting that you can do this in the game, right? So with Milner, you can switch to a different EPL player if you're not enjoying this, so on and so forth. So those are a couple more teams that you guys can work with if you guys want to have fun with some team of the season players that give you somewhat of a good balance in the squad, as well as a fun concept, because you can't always get a perfect team in FIFA, but it's nice to have a team that you can at least have fun with that's different. Like, this is a very different team, but it's a fun team to try out to see something that's, you know, new for yourself, right? So because FIFA can be very stale if you're using the same squad over and over again. But in terms of value for price, 2 million coins may not be super ideal for a team like this, but I think the last team that was 1.7 or 1.8 was definitely better value for money, because I think every position was occupied very nicely. But that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, be sure to drop a thumbs up down below in the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.